Hi, Katya Woods, Philadelphia Tribune. Hey, Megan, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Good, break gang.
Okay.
Listen, the summer, I mean, we may enjoy the sun, but Mother Nature,
It has been rough on the East Coast. I just got back from the East Coast this morning and this summer was not a game.
facts.
Yeah.
I love this role for you because, on the show, we see you going through some things, but here we get to see you as a mom talk about that, because we don't get to see you in those roles as often, you being more
Right.
like the nurturer and especially playing opposite Jamie.
Yeah, well, I think my feeling was I have the rest of my life to do it, so don't rush to it. But with this it was different because I am a very nurturing person by nature, but I thought, there's something really cool about us as women as we constantly grow and walk into different parts of our journeys. And what I do love is that sometimes there tends to be like a stereotype of what a mother's like, or what a mother looks like, or what a mother does for a living, or what her interaction is like with her husband or her child. And I just really love that Joss is strong and she is no nonsense and she can love her husband but still make a choice to say, I'm not dealing with no BS. She can be a nurturing mother and then still be, very honest and assertive. She can physically be someone who's like, takes care of herself and loves on herself. And so for me, I loved just the way that she was on the paper. And for me, it made me excited to play a mom who, is kick ass and, takes names and just goes for it. And so and then also was just like I really wanted to play with Jamie and with Snoop and Dave and Natasha and like the cast is incredible. And I was really excited about working with JJ. I think he's incredibly talented. And for this to be like his first one out the gate, I was just like, I want to be a part of that. So
Absolutely. Talk about working with Jamie and Snoop. Well, we know Snoop is very legend, but he's very mellow. And we know
yeah.
that Jamie like goes off script. So how hard
Yeah.
was it for you to keep a straight face? Because he everything is funny with him. Even
Right.
when you interview him, it's not you come prepared and it goes, never mind, I lost control already.
You know what's weird is I remember, being like 13, 14 years old and watching like Boomerang and like trying to decide like what lines did Eddie Murphy say that weren't on the page, and watching like Robin Givens' expressions as like she adjusted to whatever it is that he might do and just being present in that moment. And so to me it was a lot of like that, just where it's like wherever he wants to go, we're just gonna ground it and we're gonna go with it and we're gonna have fun and like be in tune. And it made it so much more fun. When you don't know what's gonna happen, I think that's when the magic happens. And that's when you find things you wouldn't otherwise find unless you're just being present and living it and just letting it breathe and be whatever it's gonna be. And so I really enjoy the challenge of that. And then also, just again working with people who love what they do, people who want to be there, people who like to have fun, people who understand that just because you're going to work doesn't mean you just have to go to work. It means that this is one day in your life that you'll never get back. So it is about having a quality of life in that day and having fun with what you're doing and the people that you're doing it with. And Jamie makes it like that.
Absolutely. This movie is there's a movie, it's called Burbs, The Burbs, and it's kind of like reminds me of that a little bit with Tom Hanks, where
Oh
there's
yeah,
stuff
yeah.
going on, right? Like when we first meet him, and then you realize that all is not what you think it is
Mm.
in the neighborhood. With this particular thing, she's finding out she always thought her husband was kooky, but this was like we're going to a whole like this was not in the whole atmosphere, the thing like she talks about the locks and all of
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Talk about how fun that is because I feel like, we've had a rough couple of years. Let's keep it 1000.
That part.
And this movie is kind of like you first, you think it's going to be like serious, but it doesn't take itself too serious.
Yeah.
And it is tongue in cheek and it's a lot of fun. Talk about that aspect of it.
Yeah, I think, to what you said, we have had a crazy last couple years. And I think to be able to bring something that is nostalgic, especially for those of us who grew up in the 90s, and something that could be very, very dark, and finding a way to make it light and making it fun. But I'm also like a big, like, respect the genre and to not make fun of it, but to make it lighter and to have fun with it, and still respect the space and create new things within it that line up with what those of us who love vampire movies and all of that appreciate. And so I think that you've taken this idea that we all love and found a way to make it lighter and given us a chance to laugh and to have fun and to be like shocked and yes, a little bit scared, but also it's like you have a good time when you're watching this movie. And I think especially right now that's super important.
Agree. And the other thing too is I think, what was it like working with the young lady? Because you being a former child actress yourself,
Yeah,
you have
yeah.
a good understanding of what people did for you to make your experience better. And what did you think about making sure that she had a good experience on set?
I think we forget that kids are watching everything and they may seem like just kids, but they're incredibly intuitive. Um, they're sensitive, they're thoughtful, and so just treating her not like an adult, but like as a little person and being there for her in any way that I could. And her parents are phenomenal and like tapped in and like not stage parents, but definitely, not playing around either. And I think that that's a really healthy balance because I've seen the extreme on other sides, and I think that they walk the line in a really beautiful way. But just making her feel like you're not just a kid, like you are a part of this cast, you are valuable, you're important. I hear you, I see you. Let's talk about the scene. How do you want to play with it? What are your thoughts? Not what do I think you should do or what do your parents think you should do? Like, what do you think about the character? You want to try that this time? I think that that's super important because especially in the space where as child actors, people often try to manipulate our direction and tell us what to do and tell us what to wear and how we're going to wear our hair and all those things. And to be able to develop at a young age a sense of identity and the things that you want and to learn how to convey them with grace and kindness, but to be assertive. I think all those things, for me, I really picked them up by watching actresses and actors who are older than me and seeing kind of how they navigated things and looking at that and saying like, oh, I want to be like that, or oh, I will never ever be like that, or whatever it is. And I think that that's super important.
Well, I want to thank you so much. I'm so thrilled for you. And I'm sure she walked away from this experience saying, I want to be like her. Thank you so much.